Looking for an outdoor motion detector for your smart home? Well, today we are going to review and test the Zooz ZSE29 Z-Wave Plus Smart Outdoor Motion Sensor. Too much? Stay tuned. Hi again, John Stone, the DIY Smart Home Guy on the channel. It's all about providing you with tips, tricks, and reviews for your affordable smart home. Smart home automation, motion detection is such an important thing. It has boggled my mind as to why it has taken so long for somebody to come up with an outdoor Z-Wave motion detector. But there finally is one. Now, while we wait for people to get rolling in on this live feed, for those of you that are catching it on the rebroadcast or after the fact, let's go do a little bit of housekeeping here. Just some things to help you along. On your YouTube viewing panel, down in the lower right-hand corner, there will be a gear icon. I want you to click on that and click on speed, and you're going to want to set that speed to 1.5. Now, the reason for this is a live broadcast, and I'm going to be going a little bit slower than what I normally would go. So with that, it's going to help you out with the ums and the ahs, because this really isn't scripted at all. So you're going to want to do that, and it'll make your viewing more enjoyable. Thank you. Next, I'd like to have you check out my website, DIYSmartHomeGuy.com. Also, you can check it out, azhb.com, Automating Z-Wave Home Basics. Over here, I've got a lot of the different products that are used in the smart home. There's a nice how-to section, gives you some troubleshooting tips, solving the basic issues. There's also a place where you can shop occasionally. I let some gear go that I no longer need, or I just want to be kind and let that go at ridiculously low prices. So that's a good thing for you to check out. Another thing that might be nice for you to check out is my Logo Sportswear gear page there. So you can get t-shirts, jackets, hoodies, what have you. That's logosportswear.com. And there is a link to all of this stuff down in the bottom in the comments below. So without further ado, hey, let's race into this. What we're going to do today is we are going to check out this Zooz ZSE29 Outdoor Motion Sensor. But I thought we'd have a little bit of fun with this, and we are going to also compare it head-to-head with the Zooz ZSE40 4-in-1 Multisensor. Some of you might recognize that. I did a video a while back where I did 9 different motion detectors, tested them all for speed test head-to-head in the SmartThings. We are going to use that same one, primarily because it's Zooz, and I want this to be an apples-to-apples comparison with Zooz products, as well as it was the high flyer when it came to performing inside the SmartThings. So we're going to do some of those same tests there. We are also going to do some of those speed tests inside the Hubitat Elevation hub. If you are not familiar with this, let's take a real quick look at that. Get the right buttons here. So here is that ZSE29. Move that out of the way. Here's that ZSE40 multi-sensor. And for those of you that have SmartThings already, I'm sure you recognize this beast right here. It's a nice compact little unit, but then we're going to bring in that little Hubitat Elevation, and wow, is this thing just small. It's got a really small form factor to it. Only 2 plugs on the back. Sorry that lighting on that isn't that good, but we got the Ethernet cable and the power cable, and this thing runs off of the 5-volt micro USB, which is pretty darn cool, but it's a small little form factor there. That thing has Zigbee, Z-Wave, and Lutron radio support. However, I confess I have not tested much of that out yet. I just recently got that, but we'll be checking that out. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to go into the head-to-head here. So now that we got you caught up, let's go over some of the... There we go. Got to get on the right screen. Sorry again, producer and talent, not much talent. I know I've made the joke before. Sorry about that. So anyway, doing this in the SmartThings. Just a review on this ZSE40 version 2. This is a $38 unit. It is a multi-sensor with motion, temp, humidity, and light. If you're running the SmartThings version 2, you will need a SmartThings device handler to get in the humidity and the light. 120-degree detection angle and a 30-foot detection range. This takes a CR123 battery, just takes one of those. Has a hub adjustable reset interval of 3 minutes and a sensitivity of high, medium, and low. I believe that's also hub adjustable. Again, pretty cool little unit here. Not to take too much time on this, you can pop the back open here, and there's a CR123 battery, and on top there's a little tiny hole there. That's what you'll be using for the pairing and whatnot. That's to get this thing all into the hub. But this is the bad boy we're going to be comparing to this outdoor motion sensor. Speaking of the outdoor motion sensor, this is the ZSC29, and this is a $40 unit. And again, it does work with both Hubitat and SmartThings. Sorry, that is wrong. This is the one thing I didn't catch before I did this live broadcast. This is an indoor and outdoor, but primarily built for the outdoor units. 100-degree detection angle, 30-foot range. This has a reset interval of 5 seconds to roughly 12 minutes. Where you're going to do that on this thing is on the bottom here. You have two little rheostat potentiometer type things. You can do those settings down there. There is nothing hub adjustable about this unit. Also, the light sensitivity goes on there. Now, this does take 3 AA batteries, or you can plug it into a USB connection there. So let's go ahead and look at this thing here. It's fairly big, you can see, compared to the size. All of the electronics, except for the battery compartment there, is enclosed in this little dome here. So that's what gives it that moisture protection. If we open up the bottom of the unit here real quick, you'll see where these batteries go in. Let's knock those out. Now, the first thing I noticed when I opened this up is there's no gasket in here. So you do run the risk of getting some, I would say, moisture ingress into the bottom here. You know, depending on how you hook this in, you may want to put some silicone or something in there. There are 2 mounting holes that are on the back. They're on the diagonal corners of the base plate here, but again, there's really no gasket or sealant around this, but it's really only the power that comes into this part of the unit. You do have a tamper switch here that can trigger some sort of alarm that it's being tampered with. It comes with the 3 AA batteries in the box, at least the one that Zooz sent me did, and yes, Zooz did send me this particular unit. We can swap these batteries out real quick. And what else comes in the box is this handy dandy little USB battery emulator thingy. And you can just pop that in. Hey, and you can fight with it for a little bit. And there you go. Now, if you go this route, you can see down here, there's a little knockout here. You can open that up, and then that USB cord will just fit right through there. You'll put the back right back on, and then you're all done. Everything's all sealed up, and you're good to go. So it's a pretty straightforward little unit there. Look at how quickly I can make a mess. That is that. So that's going to go into its reset cycle there, and let's get into some more details if we can. So what I did to run the tests was I created a little robot, little automation scene type things there. I put hooked in both motion sensors into the SmartThings, made a couple of automations that when they detect motion, one of those is going to hit this Zooz zwave plus wall switch. It's going to hit an LED light. The other one's going to hit this singlet Zigbee LED. So I'm going to get the Zigbee and the Z-Wave test right out of the hub, and we are going to check the motion on that. So let's take a look at the SmartThings, how that worked out there. So you can see in this little video here that the reaction time is pretty quick. It was about 1/3 of a second most of the time. In this first test, this was one of the slower for both of them. The 4-in-1 was triggering the lights faster than the outdoor was, but the outdoor finally got everything in about 1.2 seconds. which, all things considered, that is not a bad reaction time. I've seen some other sensors that can take 3-4 seconds before they get their act together and hit the lights. Another one which was a little faster, again, this is off the SmartThings. All 3 lights essentially there, except for that one Zigbee light down there came on, and then everything came on, was about 1.1 seconds there. And then we have one more test here, I believe. This is where I think that really rocked. We got the sensor shows up, and then within about 0.6, 0.7 seconds, you see both those lights came on almost at the same time, and then that 4-in-1 kicked its lights in about a second. So pretty cool. These things are pretty fast. That's what I noticed in that last motion detector video that I did. Everything comes in really fast, which is really nice. So looking at all of the numbers and the way those stacked in there, you can see that outdoor versus the Z-Wave and the Zigbee. This thing came across on the Zigbee side a little bit faster, 0.84 seconds on average, and about 0.9 seconds on the Z-Wave side, compared to 1.1 and 1.01 and 1.10 seconds on the 4-in-1 sensor side there. So pretty cool. This thing is, I would say, rocking fast. Again, on the average, you know, that outdoor was a little bit faster. Now, I would say it's quite possible that all of this is due to the hub and not the sensor. But that's why I like to do these head-to-heads, is you get to see kind of how everything is performing when you've got all of the things going on there. Also, if you have any questions about this motion detector here, there's a little chat box over there. You can enter in your questions. I would like to keep this to just these motion detectors we're talking about today, if that's okay. And if you don't have any questions, cool, that's fine too. No problems there. So yeah, that was some pretty good stuff. Let's get into that Hubitat Elevation and see what all the hubbub is about the Hubitat. Yeah, I know, I did it. All right, so did a very similar thing there. Same basically group of robots that we have. Let's take a look at what that performance looked like. And you can see here video quality is a little bit better, but same reaction time. That'll be independent of the hub. When you kick these things off, again, at the beginning stages of these testings, that 4-in-1 was a lot faster than the outdoor sensor there. But I would say the testing was about the same. First time that Z-Wave switch, that Zooz wall switch, was pretty slow, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute. As I proceeded with the test, they got quite a bit faster. You'll notice now that Zigbee light coming on in 0.7 seconds, and that last Z-Wave switch coming in about 0.83. And then finally we get into some of the later tests where we were getting some speeds that were about 2/3 of a second, 0.66, somewhere in there. Get those lights to trigger, and boom, that Zigbee came on, and then by about 0.7, everything came on. So on this Hubitat Elevation hub, this was really fast. I would say it was really kind of nice. This last one, I think, is where it just started screaming. So we'll get that rolling. There you go. You got the 0.66, and then it comes, everything was on by about 0.7 seconds, which was pretty nice, 0.78 there. So again, in the head-to-heads, you can see the numbers really got a lot faster. There was a couple of outliers there. I did more than these 10 tests there, by the way, but there was a couple where it did get a little bit slower. But on average, 0.98 seconds on the Z-Wave side, 0.78 on the Zigbee side, on the outdoor sensor, on the 4-in-1, again, about 0.8 of a second across the board between the Z-Wave and the Zigbee. They were just rock solid between the two. Now, what I was talking about real quick is the smart switch I'm using. And which shoulder is it? It's right over here. There you go. That switch right there is one of the new Zooz Zen 26 S2 switches, and there are not any device handlers for that for the Hubitat. So I had to put in a generic device handler, and that may have been one of the reasons why that switch was just a little bit slower. I believe those will be coming soon. That's a pretty new line on the Zooz side, but we'll get that figured out, I'm sure, later. So when you look at this thing inside the hub, inside the Hubitat, you can see that natively on that 4-in-1 sensor, everything just came straight into the Hubitat, and then here's that outdoor sensor. And I wanted to just kind of show you a live view. So you can see the motion detectors down there on my lab board, and we'll just kind of run the hand in front of that, and everything kicks in really fast. So really I have zero complaints about this motion detector. I think it's a pretty nice unit. A lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing with this, and I'm already trying to start to think of where I'm going to put this around the house, if you will. So no objections here on this thing. I think it's another quality product out of Zooz. I really like the Zooz products. Hope to keep reviewing them in the future, and we'll be bringing you more stuff as we come to it. And sorry again for being so long between live broadcasts. I really haven't put out a video in a year. Been very busy, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to correct that soon. So with that, appreciate you guys hopping in on the live broadcast. Thanks for hanging in there with me, and happy smart homing. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click like. And over here are a couple of other videos that you might enjoy. You can also catch me over on Facebook and Twitter. Both are at DIY Smart Home Guy. Until next time, cheers.